DC Multiverse!
Hello, super friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse New 52 Superman. This figure has a lot of people very excited to get their hands on it, and it makes sense. I mean, this is a figure a lot of people have been asking for quite a while. This side of his packaging says Superman, we have New 52, and the back has a fantastic piece of New 52 Jim Lee Superman artwork. At any rate, I just want to get him out of the package so that I can get a closer look at him. And now having him out of his packaging, we could see everything that we got. We got the Superman figure, we got the base that he's standing on, and of course, as usual, we got this here trading card that has the New 52's Superman data file on the back. And that's all. That's all that we get in the package. So let's take a closer look at the figure. First, I've just got him up on the spinner here so that you folks at home can have a preliminary look at the figure all around 360 degrees. And I can tell you, looking at this guy going around in a circle, I've already got my thoughts about him. So let's get him in hand. So for one, I can tell you that I really would rather they didn't have these black lines around a simply painted S on his chest. I would have rather that have been a sculpted piece, like we got on the Mattel, and also on the DC Collectibles version. Like, it does look clean and crisp, I just would have rather seen it be a three-dimensional sculpt. Which brings me to my second thought, which is, why are there no sculpted lines or details on this suit? Where are the panels that Superman is supposed to have on his suit? The New 52 version of Superman's suit is supposed to be Kryptonian body armor, but they did without all the panels, and it just looks like skin-tight fabric. They did try to paint on that detail that you have on his wrist. It's not really accurate. Like, it's supposed to look more like that, or even that, but I suppose at least they tried. It is nice that we got a new trunks area with a properly sculpted belt. The boots do look pretty good though. I really don't half mind those. I think that they did a pretty good job sculpting these boots, all the detail around them. Although they definitely did miss the detail on the actual feet of the boots. Detail like that, and also that. And although this figure does come with a cloth goods cape, and there's enough cape here to keep me satisfied, and you have an emblem right here on the back of the cape. You have that black New 52 style Superman emblem, which is exactly the same as the one on the back of the DC Collectibles, and it is attached quite nicely to the body, having it tucked all the way around and inside like that. I do like that. I will say it's quite weird that it has the stitch lines for a wire. Like, this definitely should have a wire in it, right? But I don't think anybody's came with a wire. I think that for some reason the wire was canned at the last second, or maybe there's a production run where for some reason the wires weren't put in, but this definitely needs a wire. Now, something that I'm kind of in the middle about is the face sculpt. It's hard to tell exactly how good this facial sculpt is or isn't, because it really depends on how it's painted. Like, I'm sure that there are artists out there that could repaint this face sculpt and make it look like gold. But as it stands now, there's just something a little off about it. Like, it's not terrible. It's not super awful. But it also doesn't scream New 52 Superman at me either. Like, the hair is cool. The hair is definitely very cool. I really do like the hair. It's just the face itself. Again, it doesn't really scream New 52 Superman at me. Although I would have liked to see this Superman figure come with a set of flight hands, he does seem to be one of the only Superman figures that is blessed with coming with two fists. Quite often, for some reason, we get a fist and an open hand, but this time they were just like, nah, let's do it. Let's give him two fists. Yeah. So that's good about this figure, and I do like the color palette. It's not that I think this is a bad figure. I just think it had so much more potential to be so much better. And instead, it seems like we got a sort of halfway there mediocre attempt at a New 52 Superman when I know McFarlane could do so much better than this Superman. Those of you with a keen eye will note that the body buck that this Superman figure has been made on has been used multiple times for Superman. I really like to bring these two out to showcase against him because, quite frankly, they're my favorite use of this Superman body buck. Just for a quick comparison of New 52 Superman figures, on the left we have the Jay Lee version, on the right we have the DC Collectibles version, and on the far right we have the Mattel version of the New 52 Superman. See, I mean, even Mattel sculpted the lines onto Superman's abdomen and arms, shoulders, and chest. And here we see Supes now wedged in between two of the more prominent Superman bodies that McFarlane has created and used many, many times throughout the history of the McFarlane DC Multiverse action figure line, the Hush body buck and the Action Comics 1000 body buck. And finally, here he is next to a custom New 52 Superman figure that I made, oh geez, quite a while back now. And of course, we're going to go through articulation for this guy just to see what he has as far as posability and can we get him into a good flight pose. So, starting with his head sculpt, there's down, there is up. Ooh, that is nice. That is not what I was expecting. The side-to-side bobble of that rounded ball joint, the back and forth and round motion of the rounded hinge with the socket around it. Of course, we're going to get 360 out of that bicep, and we have the double jointed elbows, and they crunch up very nicely. We have the shaped colored wrist hinge, and it actually gives quite a bit of motion there. And round we go. We have the torso articulation, and forward is not exactly something to write home and tell your mommy about. And the back, going back, well, it's about that. Now, when you put the head in there, that's actually going to be really good. I'm happy with that for a flight pose. With the waist and the torso enacted, it's, that's not a terrible amount of articulation. We have his super groin down here. And what does he have? Come on, let's have that thigh cut approximation. Let's get it going. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Well, not too bad. Double jointed knees. The rounded hinge for the ankle that goes down and it goes up, about that. We've got the pivot for the ankle and we have the toe articulation. So what do I think about this figure? Well, it is nice to have a New 52 Superman, an official McFarlane Toys New 52 Superman. I just wish that it had have had more care taken to the details that are demanded by making a New 52 Superman. The details in the suit that I'm sure most of us who are Superman fans would have preferred to see in this figure, rather than the smooth, kind of low-effort attempt to make this a New 52 Superman. I suppose it's just my bias talking, because as a big Superman fan, I really just want them to make sure that they get that character right. And this doesn't seem like they cared about it enough to make sure they got it. At least, I don't know, 85% right? So not good, not garbage, somewhere kind of in the middle. Would I buy this figure again, having watched this review, having reviewed this figure? If this one broke or fell into a vat of lava and melted, would I buy this figure again? Yeah, probably. Anyway, those be my thoughts, views, and opinions about the New 52 Superman from McFarlane Toys. I'm sure that you will have your own. Feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you all with the next one. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care.